Hello out there folks, it's Dave from Davestation VR, and welcome to episode 4 of PSVR Digest. It's the week of September 3rd, 2018, and let's start it out with some news. First thing, personally very exciting to me, Sega announced that Space Channel 5 VR is coming in 2019. So that should be really cool. I've been waiting for Sega to hop into VR for a while, and it's cool to see them bringing these old franchises back in a new way. So hopefully that's the beginning of a trend. I'd love to see some Crazy Taxi VR, House of the Dead VR. Keep it coming, basically. And, I've always been a Dreamcast guy, so that's a big thing for me. Otherwise, we got 4 new songs for Electronauts as free DLC. So there should be a patch that got updated there, and just take a look. You should see 4 new songs in the game, so that's pretty cool. We've also got a new trailer for Trover Saves the Universe from Justin Roiland of Rick and Morty fame, and it looks like, if you've played Accounting Plus, you kind of know the comedy style, what to expect, but it's a full-on 3D action platformer, and it looks like it'll be a ton of fun, so check that trailer out. We've also got some new PSVR bundles coming soon, so I don't know if you guys watch this and don't have a headset, but if that's the case, there's some cool stuff coming up. On September 25th, they're releasing a bundle with a physical copy of Creed, digital copy of Superhot, 2 Move controllers and the camera, and the headset, of course, and that's going to be $350. On October 2nd, they're going to release one with Astrobot Rescue, which is a physical copy, Moss Digital, and the camera. That's going to be $300, so a little cheaper because there's no moves in there. But, if you haven't hopped in yet, those are going to be great bundles, and definitely keep an eye on those. Otherwise, as far as Firewall goes, I figured I'd give you a little status update. It's been doing really well, but they're still having some networking issues, lots of disconnects. I've been having errors where it says network not found. Occasionally you'll spawn in a lobby where you can't hear anybody, but they do seem to be working on it because the squad performance has really improved. At launch, you couldn't really keep a squad of 4 together. It would split you up, you'd get in different lobbies, all kinds of stuff. So that's pretty much been fixed as far as I can tell. Unfortunately, a devious new defense tactic has appeared, and I've seen it a bunch of times and it really pisses me off. People are using signal jammers, which prevent you from hacking the laptop, and then killing themselves immediately en masse. So the whole defense team commits suicide, which cuts the timer to 1 minute, and in that 1 minute you have to go find the laptop and destroy the signal jammers, which is pretty much impossible. So it's really stacked against new players because you have to be level 21 to even get the signal jammer, and it's just frustrating, and I wish people would stop doing that. We haven't heard official numbers on how many copies have been sold, but I have a feeling it's quite a lot. The UK sales numbers are out, and they were number 11 this week, which is pretty good for a VR-only title. There's only 3 million headsets out there with like 80 million PS4s, so the fact that we can even get close to the top 10 is pretty awesome. So I think that's a good sign. So before we get into the review wrap-up for this week, I'm going to announce the giveaway winners for Zone of the Enders, the second runner Mars. I had 1 PC code to give away and 1 PS4 code, thanks again to Konami. So the winner of the PC code is going to be Sergster2, that's S-E-R-G-S-T-E-R-2. And the winner of the PS4 code is Frowny1. Frowny1. So congratulations, thanks for tuning in, thanks for commenting, and hope you guys stick around. And that brings us to the review wrap-up for this week. I'm going to start out with Beats Fever. Now this is a game that I'm really excited about. I had no expectations. It's a really cheap rhythm game that's only available in the Hong Kong store for right now, but they are totally planning a US and Europe release. It's coming worldwide at some point. And really, with the name Beats Fever, I was expecting a Beat Saber clone. I thought it was going to be like a cash grab to get in there while people are waiting for Beat Saber. But it's really got its own thing, and to me, from what I've played, it's the best traditional rhythm game on PSVR. When I say traditional rhythm game, I mean like Dance Dance Revolution, Para Para Paradise, all those old school classic like Bimani, Konami games. So you're going to play this one with 2 Move controllers, and basically you've got this transparent screen in front of you, and as the notes are coming towards you, a little ring appears where you have to put your Move controller at the time that the note gets to you. So if you're used to traditional rhythm games where there's like a lane and things are coming and you can see them in the distance, it's pretty similar to that, and it feels really well implemented. I like what they did here. There's also 40 levels with pretty solid original music that covers a lot of genres. You've got surf rock, you've got techno, you've got EDM, you've got tango, It's pretty solid, and for the price, I mean, it's $11 US, basically, when you convert from Hong Kong dollars, and at that price point, it is, to me, by far the most satisfying rhythm game you can pick up on PSVR, without a doubt. So even if you don't have a Hong Kong account, like I said, it's coming soon to the rest of the world, so keep an eye on Beats Fever. Next up is the big release for this week, Zone of the Enders, The Second Runner Mars, which is a remake of the PS2 Mech Combat classic from Konami, and it holds up really well as a VR port. If you played the original demo on the PSN store, you may have had some issues with the graphics and the performance. People said it didn't really feel 3D, and there was a lot of ghosting and double images. That has all been thankfully rectified. The game performs very smoothly now, and everything just looks great. It's not disorienting, even if you're up close in combat and, jumping around from different enemy targeting and whatever, like, it feels good. You won't get motion sick, you won't get confused. And, from a game that is traditionally a third-person game, to bring it into first person, they did a pretty good job here. There's also some new difficulty settings that you can select that are more tailored to the first-person VR experience, if that's something you're interested in. But once you get the hang of it, it's really fun combat. The action just feels great. And, we don't have a game like this in VR right now. I had a great time with it. Full disclosure, I haven't finished the game yet, so it's kind of a review in progress. But from what I hear, it's about 6 hours long, maybe 7. And a lot of that is dialogue and cutscenes. But, they do a cool thing with the cutscenes where they've rendered them as if they're kind of like a 3D movie. So there's depth to them. And it's a really interesting concept that I haven't seen any other game do yet. So I'm into that. Overall, I would highly recommend this one if you're at all into classic Konami games or mech combat or anything like this. It's going to be right up your alley, and I think you will have a great time with it. It's only $30 as well, and you can also play it flat screen in 4K. So there's a lot of options there, and really it's a good value for what's there, and definitely pick that one up. Last and most certainly least, this week we've got Apocalypse Rider from the same developers who brought us Viking Days last week, and this is a Gear VR port that I would describe essentially as Road Rash without the combat or the racing or the fun part. So it's only $5, but there's really not a whole lot to it. You're guiding this motorcycle down a road, and even though it says Apocalypse Rider, there's a lot of traffic. Like, if I'm picturing a post-apocalyptic world, there is not nearly this much traffic. But maybe, like in the apocalypse, these people never use their turn signals. So you'll be just going down, thinking you're on a good run, and all of a sudden a guy switches lanes, very awkwardly out of nowhere, unrealistically. No car would move like this. And just, gets right in front of you and you crash. There's just not enough fun to it to justify the fact that it's janky and cheap, and there's really not a whole lot going on. Once again, like with Viking Days, even though it's very cheap, you probably want to take a pass on this one. That wraps it up for reviews, so let's get into the sales for this week. Now, unfortunately, this week is a little bit lame as far as sales go. We've only got a couple games. The first one is Merville's, which is 50% off, and this is a third-person platforming game that, while it's got some rough edges, may hold you over until Astrobot comes out later in October. And we've still got Here They Lie for free. That's a 2-month PS Plus free game, so if you haven't picked it up yet, just go download it if you got PS Plus. It's a great little horror game, and I think you'll have a good time with it. The last one is The Idol Master Cinderella Girls Viewing Revolution, which is 50% off, and that's $9.99. And from what I can tell, it's basically like the Hatsune Miku VR experience, where you pretty much just watch anime girls dance on a stage in VR and, like, shake around a glow stick. So, yeah, what are you going to do with that one? That's going to wrap it up for this episode of PSVR Digest. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate all the new subs I've gotten since Firewall came out, and all the old subs I've had since forever. Guys, you're awesome. Thank you for watching. If you like this, leave me a comment or a like or a subscribe, and thank you again, and I will catch you guys next week.